So as we get ready for that to start, if you haven't seen diving, there's 7 judges. Top 2 and bottom 2 scores are thrown out. And then the middle 3 scores are multiplied by the difficulty of the dive. Cassandra Brozak from Gateway High School will be first up here in the first of the final 3 rounds. She'll be doing a forward 1 somersault, 1 twist free.
You know, with 3 dives left for each of these girls, really the door's still wide open.
And Mikhail Bauer leading the charge. You had 3 divers score 300 or better rounds. Averly Hobbs, Chandler Marshall, Kathleen Badillo, and Mikhail Bauer. So Brozak, who led at several points earlier in the day, but never led after a full round, with a nice dive to start things off there, and a score of 38.95. So that'll bring up Chandler Marshall from Lewis Palmer High School.
I think currently there's only a couple girls who could take over that lead from Mikhail Bauer with so many points at this time.
This is a forward 1.5 somersault with a 1 twist.
Very nice dive by Chandler.
Now she'll score a 41.80. Next up will be Taylor Walsh from Palmer High School. Forward 2.5 somersault tuck. She hit the water flat there. We'll see what her score is.
Able to get that full 2.5 rotation. Didn't open up all the way.
27.60. Up next will be Ashley Helene from Thunder Ridge High School. She'll be doing the same dive you just saw. Forward 2.5 somersault tuck.
We saw Ashley Helene do great in the preliminary event. Let's see if she does in these last 3 dives.
Nice dive there. She was in 8th place coming into the finals.
As you can see, she opened up a little bit earlier than Taylor to get more of that dive in.
40.80. Up next will be Kellen Toole from Regis. This will be a reverse dive tuck. Score a 24.00. Caitlin Costello now. This will be a reverse 1.5 somersault tuck. A nice dive by Caitlin. Score a 37.80. Next up, Madeline Ingmeyer from Thunder Ridge High School. This will be an inward dive straight.
We're going to have 2 seniors here going back to back. Madeline.
Well, now she's talking to the judges table. She's going to change the dive to a pike position.
By changing that position here, it's going to lower the degree of difficulty for this dive. There you see our judges across the pool.
Yeah, an inward dive straight is a 1.8 degree of difficulty. A pike is a 1.5. Of course, it's not great to have to stand there on the diving board, announce you want to make your change. Why 1,000 people are just staring at you.
Yeah, it's got to be tough to, you can see that, getting a little nervous, but she just wants, I think, to stay focused and get this dive done. She did well this morning, so I would say this is going to be a good dive here as well.
A nice dive, scores her a 33.00. JC Pashada now from Regis. This will be a reverse 1.5 somersault tuck. Wait for the score on Pashada. Chanley Burge will be the next diver from Loveland High School.
We had a little bit of difficulty this morning getting some of the scores on the board as well. It looks like we're still continuing with that here.
Yeah, for the most part, the morning ran smooth, but there was about a 5-minute delay when they were having troubles with the computer scoring system.
Nobody wants that. I want to keep these girls in a rhythm, along with the swimming portion as well. The divers need this same type of rhythm and not have that long lag time between each dive.
Now JC Pashada waiting for her score. Pashada in 16th place after the semis.
They're also behind the board in that silver suit there. You'll see Chanley Burge, who was doing very well and taking over the lead a lot of times, as we saw him earlier in this morning.
.30. So they finally get that score on the board. And now Chanley Burge, who we just talked about, will step up. This will be a forward 1.5 somersault, 1 twist free.
Looks like she executed that dive very well. She's been our most consistent diver, I would say, throughout the morning.
41.80. So the weight didn't seem to bother her. Ellen Strample from Rock Canyon next on the board. She'll be doing a back dive pike. She's been smiling since 7 o'clock this morning. Every time she steps on the board, walking around the pool, she's been just ear to ear smile.
That's what you like to see, is just people having fun. I think that's when you see people do their best performances. And right there, as you see with that dive, that smile had to help.
Now she'll score a 40.00. So Jamie Owens up next from Mountain Range. This will be a reverse dive pike.
I think this 9th round, we've seen the biggest spread of difficulty from any of the other rounds yet.
Yeah, we've seen everything really from a 1.5. We'll see a 2.5 coming up from Mikhail Bauer. 23.80 the score there. Up next, Kathleen Badillo from Legend High School. This will be a forward 1.5 somersault, 1 twist, free. And nice dive there.
Well, we've seen Kathleen, I think, came in second coming in here so far. She's been doing great today.
50.60. And that moves her into first place. Up next, Ashley Peterson, Mountain Vista. This will be an inward dive pike.
I think the only other person so far to get a 50 would be Mikhail Bauer. Great dive there by Ashley.
36.00. Up next, Mercedes Clements from Columbine. And this will be the same dive you just saw, inward dive pike. And she'll score a 27. Averly Hobbs from Chatfield High School now up. This will be a back one somersault, 1.5 twists free.
There's only 2 other girls that we didn't have classes for. She is on our list, the only freshman that's in here.
She scores a 42.55, and that'll bring up the final diver of the round, Mikhail Bauer, who has led after each and every round through the first 8, and with a good dive here will continue to do so. This will be a back 1.5 somersault, 1.5 twists free.
Well, with that dive right there, you can see why Mikhail Bauer has been the Colorado 5A state champion the last 2 years.
She scores a 53.75, and with that, eases right back into first place. So it's back to the top of the order now as we start round 10. Cassandra Brozek with a 38.95 on her previous dive.
Mikhail Bauer just breaking the 400 mark there on her 9th round, 400.70.
Forward 1.5 somersault, 1 twist. She'll score a 27.50. Up next, Chandler Marshall from Lewis Palmer. This will be a forward 2.5 somersault tuck. Dive.
You see a lot of these top divers with 2.2 difficulty or above for these last 3 dives.
51.60. Next up, Taylor Walsh from Palmer High School had a 27.60 on her last dive. This will be a forward 1.5 somersault, 1 twist free. They scored a 29.70. And up next is Ashley Helene from Thunder Ridge. This will be a back dive pike.
This will be her lowest difficulty of the last 3 rounds here.
.80. Kellen Toole of Regis up next. Should be attempting a back 1 somersault straight. 28.90. Here comes Caitlin Costello out of Castleview. She'll be doing a forward 2.5 somersault pike.
Got all the way around there on that 2.5, but didn't quite open up early enough.
Now let's see how they scored. She didn't get that extension. 24.70. Madeline Ingmeyer from Thunder Ridge will be next. Similar dive. This one forward 2.5 somersault tuck.
There you see Madeline really getting enough height to get all the way around and then open up for a great dive.
50.40. JC Pashada from Regis up next. Should we do reverse 1 somersault, 1 twist free. So we wait the score. Chanley Burge will be up next, and this is where we had a little scoring problem before with Bashada. And they scored a little quicker this time at 26. So Burge from Loveland up next. This will be a forward 2.5 somersault tuck. .40. Ellen Strample of Rock Canyon is next. This will be a back 1 somersault, 1.5 twists free. There she is, smiling again. She's just having a good time.
You know, we keep talking about these team awards that are going to be coming up at the end. You know, Cherry Creek and Fossil Ridge don't have any divers in this top 16. Lewis Palmer having one of the top 3 coming into this, and also Regis having 2 in the top 16 is really going to pull them up more in that point total.
Strample scores a 39.10. Jamie Owens will be up next from Mountain Range. This will be a back 1.5 somersault pike. Scored a 29.90. So next up from Legend High School. Here comes Kathleen. Her last score was a 50.60. This time she'll be attempting a forward 2.5 somersault pike.
Wow. Great form throughout that dive.
And with that dive, she goes back into first place, 46.80. And she'll hold first place until it goes in about 4 divers from now. Ashley Peterson will be up next.
Another one that we've seen smiling, you know, throughout the morning, just having a good time being here.
This will be a reverse 1.5 somersault half twist free.
got a little bit away from the board there.
31.90. Next up, Mercedes Clements from Columbine. Scored a 27 on her last jump. She's going to try a reverse 1 somersault, 1.5 twists free. Now she landed flat in the water there. She'll get a 19.20. 2 divers left in this round. Averly Hobbs up from Chatfield. This will be an inward 1.5 somersault tuck.
I was able to talk to Averly earlier, just having a great time, just joking around. You know, being a freshman coming into this, doing great.
She scores a 42.90 there. Time for the final diver of the round. It's the one who's led after every round. Mikhail Bauer from Loveland. This will be a forward 2.5 somersault pike. Another nice dive by the 2-time state champ. Had a 53.75 in the last dive. This time, 57.20. So with that, she's once again in first place and on her way to a state title. So we'll begin the final round. Cassandra Brozak with her final dive of the day. This will be a forward 2 somersault pike. You can hear the slap there. She hit the water.
Yeah, slap those feet without getting them pointed.
I'll score that at 29.90.
Looks like she left at the very end of the board on that dive.
So here's Chandler Marshall out of Lewis Palmer. This will be an inward 1.5 somersault pike.
Really finishing out those 3 rounds really well.
Yeah, last dive with 2.4 degree of difficulty scored a 51.60. This time it's a 55.20. Same degree of difficulty. Taylor Walsh from Palmer High School up next. Should be attempting a reverse 1.5 somersault tuck.
You know, even with Chandler here, you know, 3 great dives, you can see that Mikhail Bauer still owns the lead. That just shows how far she's ahead.
Yeah, Bauer came into the finals with a lead over the next closest diver of 41.3 points. 27.3 the score for Taylor Walsh. Ashley Helene will be up next. Somersault, 1.5 twists. .50 the score. Up next, Kellen Toole. This will be a back 1 somersault, 2.5 twists free. they give her zeros.
Looks like she didn't complete the full dive that was attempted.
Caitlin Costello will be up next now on a castle view. This will be a back one somersault, 1.5 twist free. Score that one a 37.95. Her best score in the finals. Madeline Ingmeyer from Thunder Ridge up next. This will be a reverse 1.5 somersault pike. Oh, nice dive there. The last dive she scored a 50.40. This time a 43.20.
Yeah, very good finish from Madeline those last two dives.
JC Pashana from Regis up next. This will be a forward 1.5 somersault, 1 twist free.
Looks like she left just right edge of that board, but still was able to get around for that full dive.
Scored a 33.00. And that'll bring up Chanley Burge. She'll be attempting a reverse 1.5 somersault tuck. .80. Ellen Stample of Rock Canyon High School getting set for her final dive of the afternoon. This will be a reverse 1.5 somersault tuck. And still smiling. .10. So that'll wrap up her afternoon. Jamie Owens of Mountain Range is next. This will be a back 1 somersault, 2.5 twists free. .39.15. So Kathleen Badillo has held the lead a couple times throughout the course of the day. We'll try and finish on .60 and a 46.80 in her 2 previous jumps. This will be an inward 1.5 somersault pike. Nice dive there. Nice way to finish up.
Yeah, definitely finishing on a high note there.
.52.80. But even with that dive, it's not enough to push her back into the lead. Ashley Peterson, Mountain Vista up next.
I'd say because of that, McHale has that state title.
It is wrapped up. Forward 2.5 somersault coming up here. Tuck. .25.20. Mercedes Clements of Columbine set for her final dive of the day. This will be a reverse 1.5 somersault tuck. .35. Haverly Hobbs, Chatfield. She'll be attempting a forward 2.5 somersault tuck.
Wow, that was I just saw her get better throughout the rounds. Great job.
And she scored 42.55 and 42.90 on her previous 2 jumps, a 51.60.
Wow,
on that dive. So a great finish for her. And here's Mikhail Bauer, who is going to put the finishing touches on another state title with this dive.
Yeah, just after 10 rounds, she's already the leader.
This will be a reverse 1.5 somersault, 1.5 twists free.
And then nails that last dive as well.
So she'll finish it with a 57.20, and with that, she will win the state championship. Mikhail Bauer from Loveland High School. Another tremendous performance. She led after each and every of the 11 rounds in today's competition. Gets a big hug there. And she is your state champion. I'm Tom Helmer alongside Morgan Wager. We're going to take a break here from the pool in Fort Collins. When we would come back, be sure to join us as we wrap up the swimming finals here at Epic.
This time the competition pool is open for one